Welcome back to my channel. Every healthy and well-groomed orchid fades its flowers after a while. What needs to be done is to cut this dried flower branch from the root with a sterile pair of scissors. Every well-groomed orchid blooms again every 6 months. As you can see here, the new flower has already started to give its branch. This is our other orchid. We cut the old flower branch from here. There are 7 healthy leaves on top of the old flower branch, which is the case when an orchid gives the flower branch here and begins to open its new flowers. Each orchid, which usually has 4 or 5 leaves, opens a flower branch. It is very difficult for orchids with a lower number to give flowers. In other words, it needs to open its flowers to keep its species going, and it needs a lot of energy during this period. You should give this to the orchid that it is not in its natural habitat. With the right care in this video, it will continue to open its flowers every 6 months. It is not necessary to confuse the flower branch with the aerial root. If the tip part is green like this, pointed, and the rest is gray, this is the air root. If we have to make comparing between the two, the tip of the aerial root on the left is pointed and the tip of the flower branch on the right is decumbent. Along with being blunt, its body is green like its tip. Just as we will do to other flower branch bearing orchids, we have to give this one the natural fertilizer support it needs to grow the flower branch more healthy. Before starting the care, look at the root color. If the root color is not as dark green as the leaf color, which has started to turn a little gray here, which means that the water in the roots has decreased, we can give water to the roots. Especially plants that open their flowers need phosphorus. We will get phosphorus fertilizer from cucumber shells as we have done before. Put the cucumber shells in a container and fill it with water. Leave the container in a place where there is no sun for 3 to 5 days according to the ambient temperature. If the environment is too hot, the top of the water foams in a short time and emits foul smell. We need to use it without this foaming. You can tell that there is a liquid fertilizer by the fact that the color of the water is green. Drain this water into container. We will add calcium fertilizer that we have prepared from mulberry leaves to it. But first, let's get this fertilizer ready. If you want to find out how we obtain this natural fertilizer consisting of mulberry leaves and in which areas we use it, you can access the making video from above or from the link I will add to the explanations. Pour a teaspoon of powdered fertilizer into container and add a liter of hot water to it. Mix and leave it to cool. After cooling, mix once again and pour it into phosphorus fertilizer we obtained from cucumbers. Move the orchid that has given a flower branch from its container and dip it into this mixture. If the root color is dark green, do not do this dipping process. Wait until the root color is gray. Be careful that the leaves do not get into the water when dipping into the water. Add water to it and bring the water level up to the top of the pot so that all the orchid soil absorbs the water truly. Let it stand in this water for about 10 minutes. With a quick pull, you can see how the roots absorb the water. How do you know if the orchid is saturated with enough water? The root color that absorbs the water and the leaf color become almost the same. That means the roots have absorbed a domestic amount of water. Now drain the water well and put it back into the pot. The care of the orchid that gives the flower branch is not finished yet. It is as important on the leaves as on the roots. Instead of throwing it into the trash, we will apply the liquid fertilizer that we will prepare from the potato peels that we have made into fertilizer to the leaves. Put a teaspoon of powdered fertilizer in a container and add a liter of hot water to it. You can find the video about how we prepare this powdered fertilizer we get from the shells from above or from the link I will add to the explanations. Mix it and leave it to cool. Filter the liquid fertilizer that has cooled down with the help of cheesecloth so that the small particles in it do not clog the mouth of the spray bottle that we will apply. Potato peels contain vitamin A, B, and C. There are other minerals such as potassium, phosphorus, calcium. When applied to leaves, completely organic substances will be absorbed much more easily. Potatoes, which contain a lot of starch, help the growth of beneficial microorganisms. And this, in turn, supports the very rapid growth of root and flower branch. Specially spray under the leaves. Wet the air roots outside with this liquid and make them absorb the minerals. It is better if you do this procedure early in the morning. The liquid on the leaves dries out during the day, which prevents yellowing and rotting of the leaves. If you can't do it early in the morning, dry it by wiping the leaves with a napkin half an hour after spraying the fertilizer. You can apply this process to all your plants once a month. Do not forget to take the water that accumulates on the bottoms of the leaves. We have given the ones that our orchid that gives flowers branch needs. Now we will wait for the flower branch to grow. After about a week, you can easily see that the flower branch is growing even more. In fact, it seems that the leaves are even more alive than they were a week ago. The same changes are observed in our other orchid that we took care of. And this is the flower branch of our other orchid. Of course, after doing these treatments, don't forget to put them somewhere where they will get sunlight again. We have come to the end of another video. Share this video so that everyone can see it and comment on it. At least write a feedback, such as a simple thank you or a suggestion. If you liked the video, please remember to click on the likes. If you have just come to my channel, subscribe and activate the bell to support my channel. See you in my next videos.